Hey everybody, welcome to another, I suppose, weird series. Does anybody remember that time we did the video of the 90 that Mike had completely forgotten about even owning, that turned into a project? But more to the point, this tired, poor old series has been sat in our yard. I would say it actually moved with us, so it probably started off about 4 years ago. Mike bought it. It looked a lot better than it does now, but it does sort of half run, which we're just about to attempt to try and do again. But I've decided I'm going to clean it up because, for those of you that don't know, Mike really wants a London taxi. So I figured what better way to fund a London taxi than to sell something that's been sat in the yard for years and years. As you can see, all of the green on this thing is absolutely amazing. It looks like the best barn find we've ever had. So some of the information on this, I believe it's a Series 3 and it's got a diesel engine, a 4-cylinder diesel engine in it, which doesn't run very well. It does run, it drove in there probably 2 years ago, but we've lost the keys for it. We're just about to try and attempt to start it with some other keys that we found. Swap the barrel over maybe, as Harry's just said, and see whether or not we can get the thing running again. But I figured what a bit of cool content it would be for you guys to follow along on some of the junk that we've got sat in the yard. We speak a lot about projects that don't get done, but this is one of those that's right up there. So if anybody's watching this has a London taxi of 1998 or older, we would 100% do some kind of deal on swapping this for that. This, as far as we're aware, is a numbers matching diesel engine. It's really not in bad shape actually, although it's sort of horrible to look at. It's really not too bad, but it's solid enough. I feel like with a 300 TDI in it, it would go again, or repair the diesel engine, something that we haven't got a lot of interest in. So me and the guys are just going to do something with it and see whether or not we can get it running. If we can get it running, we'll continue the video there just to show you how badly it ran. And I think I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up. As much as I would like to sell it like this, I feel like it does make it look 10 times worse than it actually is. So I think I'm going to clean it up, and I'll come back after the cleanup video. I think you should send it. Stop swearing. Go on. We're going to get a fresh battery and see if we can get the old girl running. She drove in there. We're just waiting on you finding a battery, Reese, but you're here. The guys are off trying to find a fresh battery. I'll do an interior tour. Even things like the battery box really aren't that massively corroded. Chassis legs in fantastic condition. The dashboard, although it's all there, it probably does all want sort of screwing in a little bit. There's some dead animals in there. Things like the dash top actually in surprisingly good condition. The bottom probably wants a little bit of love. Most of the seats are all trimmed in this black vinyl and it doesn't look horrendous. We've actually had much more modern Defenders in far worse state than this. It appears to have some kind of weird roof, not really sure what that is. I'll see if I can do some research and work out what those little hatches are. Interior light bulbs. Everything is just really old and really cool. There's a bit of roof lining missing, I think, from the middle, but it has the rear and the front. But really, for the most part, it's quite solid, surprisingly. Apart from that bit. That bit's a bit rubbish. So This video series is in tune a little bit with what Mike's been up to the past couple of weeks. I hadn't realised, and Mike found great pleasure in telling me that he'd actually advertised my own Defender for sale without telling me. So I figured that makes it fair game to start selling his stuff without telling him either. So if you guys want to buy a Series Land Rover that I can then fund a London taxi with, this is the place to get a really rough looking Series 109. I don't know how rare they are, I don't really know anything about them. There's a bunch of keys that we've gone through to try and find the right one. Did we find the right key, Harry? No. What have we got then?
A new barrel.
Oh, a new ignition barrel. So yeah, now we've got, that's obviously going to increase the value significantly, isn't it? Should we clean the windscreen? I don't know.
Right, that's the new battery on.
New battery on, I think we're going to go again.
Full throttle.
You'll go. The smoke coming out the back, which is a good start. Hold it on full. I'd love to tell you a bit more about how well this is running, but you can probably hardly hear me over how loud it is. So there's obviously an issue with it somewhere. Although it runs like a bag of nails, it actually idles on its own. It doesn't rev very well, and I'm not sure what that knocking is, but it sounds like a top end knock. We never really got as far as diagnosing it. We got it running to this point last time and drove it into the hole and forgot about it. So there she is, running away. Reese, just turn her off. So we appear to have an issue there where the key doesn't do anything. We think maybe this lever is... Yeah, I think that's
I just pulled that off the
fuel cut lever that Reese obviously wasn't pulling hard enough.
I think you just broke it.
Push it back in.
Insert background music.
Insert background music. Almost seems a shame to clean it, really. It looks like a barn find, doesn't it? Yeah. Should we drag it up to a barn and just put it in there and cover it in straw? I'm sure stuff's more valuable when it's got straw on it. Yeah. Selling my beloved chicken coop, isn't it? This one. If there's anybody watching that's into pressure washers or detailing and wants to donate us a pressure washer, we'd really like a steam cleaner. So if you want to see some of your products used in our videos, why don't you help us replace this absolute donkey of a pressure washer for something more usable, because Mike won't buy us one. So Karcher, if you're watching, here's the shout out. I mean, we obviously other makes will be considered, wouldn't they, Joe? At this point, we're not particularly picky. Insert upbeat background music. If you could even make it up that the pressure washer has actually died partway through the video. So cutting in and going back to old school with a hose pipe, I think. Bear with. Yes, you shall begin. Joe, would you agree that that's got to be proof enough that you absolutely can polish a turd? As the saying goes, a turd cannot be polished. Well, we have just proved that wrong. Obviously that was only meant to be a little joke, but it actually looks really good. I can almost see a reflection in there. So that's as far as I'm going to go with it. I've got all the green and moss and rubbish off it. Some of the paint may have come off, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to get pictures taken of this now, and I'm going to get it up online, unless any of the viewers, before it goes online, would like to make an offer. As I said, the preferred transaction here would be to swap it for a London taxi that's older than 1998. So if anybody knows of one, even if it's in a hedge, we really don't care. Anything that we can work with is something that we're going to be into. So before Mike finds out that I'm actually selling his cars, and technically speaking, and all jokes aside, this is actually one of those cars that is available for sale, so don't worry about that. But let's get this up for sale. Let's see who we can start the bidding off with, I really don't know a lot about the pricing on these. Any help would be appreciated, and any genuine interest from any of the viewers, you're more than welcome to come down and take a look at it. As you've seen, it runs, it does sort of move under its own power. I managed to get the vehicle moving sort of 6 feet or so, but it is a bit tired and there is a pretty serious fault with the engine. I think something's going on in the head maybe. But there you go guys, that is today's fun and games. A couple of hours spent just messing around with something that's been sat in the yard. So let me know if you're interested, and hopefully we'll get this thing sold and swapped for a London taxi soon.